Loving basketball. Man. So the other day I was on Substack and came across a topic titled Black Films That Are Secretly Horror Movies. I was expecting for movies like Juice to be in there. I was expecting movies like Boys in the Hood to be there, and they were. But one movie in particular kind of caught me off guard, and it's a movie that throughout the years growing up, I always watched in passing and always thought of it as a chick flick for my sister to watch. Now, with Loving Basketball, I never actually watched in its entirety. Like I just mentioned, I thought it was a chick flick for my sister. Always see my cousins watching, a lot of BET films, a lot of Tyler Perry films, a lot of different just black films in general. But within reading this article, it actually enticed me to find out why it's a horror film when it's about romance. In the article, she pretty much talks about how Loving Basketball is a toxic relationship and that Quincy is a toxic man and was playing psychological games with Monica. The comments were all agreeing. The comments of some of the people were saying that their first time seeing this movie was in college. They wanted to see what the hype is about, and they kind of instantly regretted it because it's a horror movie about relationships and they don't want to be in that specific situation. And so that made me be like, okay, I think it's time that I watch Loving Basketball in its entirety. And that's exactly why I did. And when I finished, there's a lot to talk about now. There's a lot to talk about because I agree and disagree with their points of views. So overall, we're going to be discussing the reality of Loving Basketball, how I perceived it. Now, before we get into their internal conflicts, we must first break down the gender roles that they're initially put into. So starting with Monica, Monica doesn't view herself as a traditional housewife. Unlike her mom, who likes to cook, clean, and service the man, Monica views that as not sticking up for yourself. We see this in a conversation that her and her mother has later on in the movie when Monica tells her mom that one day she came home at the age of 8 and her mother cooked a nice meal, a large, nice meal, and the father came in with pizza and the mother kind of just shrugged it off. The mother never really stuck up for herself. Monica is also a ball player, which is the whole point of this movie. Monica's a ball player. She wants to play with the boys outside. The first time we see her is when she reveals herself, taking off her hat, revealing that she has long hair to Quincy and his friends. She wants to play with the boys. She doesn't want people to look at her as, oh, she's a woman, she can't do this, she can't do that, which ironically enough is something Quincy's dad tells him throughout the movie. Don't say the word can't. And it seems more like Monica hates that word than he does. When Monica gets pushed on the ground by Quincy during their one-on-one, their first one-on-one of the film, we see the mom having a towel on her face and Monica liking the fact that she has a scar. That's the fact that she got pushed, she has blood on her face, and she's like, hey, she's tough. Monica likes the feeling of being a tough woman. We also see Monica, her senior year of high school, during a game. You see that she's loud, she's vocal, and her mom is in the stands and she doesn't like the way Monica's acting. Monica is competitive. Monica isn't the traditional type of feminine woman you'll see in a lot of movies. Competitive gives you a more masculine frame, give you a more masculine look. Granted, this is changing a lot now, especially since we see girls like Angel Reese, who's, although a ball player, still keeps her femininity in light and in focus just as much as she is a ball player. We see her walking the runway at Victoria's Secret and also, just getting like 11 rebounds every game. Monica is constantly being told by her mother to stop acting like a boy, to get rid of her tomboy ways. And we see that when Monica is, like I said, a senior in high school and she's sitting at the table talking with her dad about how there's no recruiters trying to recruit her, and her father's telling her, maybe you should let basketball go, and her mother is agreeing with the dad, saying, when are you gonna let go of your tomboyish ways? Monica makes a comment about being a lesbian because that's how her mother sees her. Her mother sees her being a tomboy or being competitive as more of something a lesbian would do, because her mom is a traditionally feminine woman who cooks, cleans, and services her man, while Monica is more liberating. So now when it comes to Quincy, we see Quincy has a skewed sense of masculinity. Now we first see this in the opening moments of the movie when Monica tries to play basketball with him and he laughs it off, saying, girls can't play no basketball. He's looking at Monica like she can't participate in a male-dominated sport. He doesn't respect her as a basketball player, and we see this from the jump. We also see this when he asks Monica to be his girlfriend, which I think is one of the most funny parts of this movie. She asks him like, okay, what do I have to do to be your girlfriend? And he's like, we just have to kiss for 5 seconds. And then he like counts the kisses for 5 seconds. It was pretty funny to me. So then they officially start dating after the 5-second kiss, and he tells her that she has to get on his bike the same way his mother rides in his father's car. Monica disagrees and he pushes her onto the grass. One thing I found to be a contradiction of Quincy's throughout this film is that Quincy starts to despise his dad for not being loyal during the relationship with his mother, but Quincy also starts to step out of his relationship by dealing with other women while in a relationship with Monica. He thinks Monica should only help his needs and his wants, and anything that he wants to do should be aided by a woman. Almost views everything she got going on as less to what he got going on. Now next is validation. Both are seeking validation, but in two different ways. So let's start with Monica. Monica struggles with self-confidence and self-esteem within herself outside of basketball. We see that basketball is the only thing that she's really confident in, but everything outside of it, she needs some sort of validation, whether that's seeking that from her mom, her sister, or even Quincy. Now let's talk about her mom. Now earlier on, I talked a little bit about her and her mother's dynamic, and this dynamic is purely off of Monica seeking validation from her mom, that although she is a tomboy, although she's very competitive and she's doing a male-dominated sport or in a male-dominated industry, she still wants to tap into her femininity to some degree. There's a scene where we see her talking with her sister about the prom and how nobody wants to take her. Her sister is in college, and she gives Monica a date to the prom, even though he's in college and she's like 18, maybe even 17. It's just a little off to me, a little weird to me, but hey, I guess that was the times. I mean, as they have the conversation, her sister says she wouldn't do that if she didn't look like her. She's giving her sister a sense of validation towards her looks, saying that she looks like her and that's why she can get a guy. She's doing it in a sibling type of way, but that's another way that she's seeking validation. We see that her older sister puts makeup onto Monica. As her mom comes in, her mom is absolutely astonished how Monica can put on makeup and transform to a different person. Once again, Monica's seeking validation from her mom when her mom says she wants Monica to enjoy her night just being beautiful, and Monica says, do you really think I'm beautiful? She needs to hear those words to actually feel beautiful. The last time we see Monica seeking validation is when Monica is outside at the patio with her mom, where the mother says one thing that she admired about Monica is her ability to fight, to be a fighter, to never give up, and to go after the things she wants. And she's giving her the speech to tell her to go after Quincy. She wants Quincy, so go after Quincy. Now let's get into Quincy. Quincy's an interesting one because Quincy suffers with self-identity completely. With true self-identity, because at first he thinks that his identity is basketball, but later on in the movie it's revealed that his identity isn't really basketball. He constantly and consistently compares himself to his dad, wanting to live to his dad's standard. His dad was in the NBA, so he wants to go to the NBA. You know, his dad's a ball player, so he's gonna be a ball player. His dad has a traditionally masculine way of doing things, so he has a traditionally masculine way of doing things. As every young boy, when I was young, I looked up to my dad, and I wanted to do things he was doing. So I can see and agree with Quincy on those points. Quincy also struggles with self-identity even when he recognizes and reveals that his dad is not only a ball player, but also a player off the courts. And Quincy also falls into this archetype, which he despises. He doesn't talk to his dad for years because his dad stepped out of his wedding vows, and yet he's stepping out of his relationships because subconsciously he wants to be like his dad. Now let's talk about the values that both Monica and Quincy have. Now Monica values basketball and her relationship with Quincy. On the surface, it both may seem innocent in terms of Monica just liking basketball and then also liking her relationship with Quincy, kind of prioritizing the both of those, but she does it to a toxic level, especially when it no longer benefits her in any type of way. Now with basketball, Monica values proving her parents wrong, that yeah, she's a tomboy, but she can still succeed in a male-dominated industry, in a male-dominated sport. Now, when it comes to Quincy, she values her relationship with Quincy almost at a toxic level. And we see this when Quincy constantly dismisses her, constantly disrespects her, and constantly is openly talking to other women right in front of her face. When it comes to Quincy, Quincy values his relationship with Monica, yes, but only through basketball. Throughout the whole entire movie, we can see Quincy likes a more feminine, traditionally feminine woman. This makes the pathway for connection between him and Monica way more difficult than the other women in the movie. He also values his problems and career path way more than hers, constantly expecting her to aid him and dismissing the problems that she's going through. Now, let's touch on the traditionally feminine women that he likes. Now, first, we see him take out a traditionally feminine woman played by Gabrielle Union to prom. We see him in college take a woman to Burger King as a date to get back at Monica for dismissing him. And then the Tyra Banks character later on in the movie that he is about to get married to. So it's clear that Monica isn't his type. Monica isn't the person that he normally go for. He even still gaslights Monica after Monica reveals and gets vulnerable with him about her feelings that she's been in love with him since they were 11 years old and that she wants to play 1v1 for his heart. He still gaslights her, saying she thinks that the sun rises and sets on her ass. But in actuality, we do know that he wants Monica. It's just Monica isn't his aesthetic, but Monica is someone he has a true connection with. Now, in the last act of this movie is where we see the actualization that both of them have. Monica realizes through the conversation with her mom that she is a fighter and that whatever she wants, she can get if she fights for it. At the end of this movie, we see that she does get the things that she wants. She does get the good career path and the guy, and even has a child with them. I thought the ending was pretty good. I know a lot of people were kind of lukewarm about the ending, but me personally, I liked the ending. Now, Quincy's actualization is that basketball isn't his true identity. We see that after Quincy sustains an injury and meets up with Monica after 5 years of not talking after college, because he's in the NBA playing with the Lakers and she's playing overseas ball in Spain. We see that they have a conversation when they both kind of come back home. She comes back home because he sustained an injury and she's kind of thinking about leaving basketball. We see them have a conversation and he tells her that he's thinking about going back to school and stopping basketball, that basketball is not really fun for him. So we find him kind of discovering himself more a little bit outside of basketball, outside of his dad's identity. Another actualization of Quincy's is that he ends up choosing the person for connection over aesthetic. We see him go for the person that he wants and not fall into the trope or the archetype his father was. Now, if you look online, the new stigma about this movie is that it's very toxic, that Quincy's toxic, that Monica was staying too long, that the whole relationship, it's just a horror film. Like I said, I was reading the Substack and the girls that were, writing, they were saying that this is a horror film. I agree, but I also disagree because I think Love and Basketball isn't a horror movie. I think it's a real movie, a very relatable movie that a lot of people related to. A lot of women try to salvage relationships and end up staying longer than they should have for the type of guy that they really, really want. And a lot of men who regret leaving their true love because lust and ambitions get in the way. I think with both sides, it shows that love isn't perfect, but love is patient. Both are flawed, but extremely relatable when it comes to dating then and now. The insecurities, the puppy love, the seeking validation, the learning not to be selfish. These are all very relatable things. These are all very real things that people go through when in a relationship. I think a lot of times, a lot of people like to just view a relationship as perfect, and that's just not the case. It's supposed to be these ups and downs. It's about navigating through it and getting to that happy ending that we see at the end of the film. I think Love and Basketball is real. I think it's real, and I think everyone feels so strongly because they relate to it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Love and Basketball is a classic, and I'm happy that I got to revisit it in its entirety. A little late, but hey, better late than never.